Okay, here's a look at the emini S&P for Wednesday, September 28th, 2011. Well, we had still our up bias going into the day, knowing that the 55 area was important, and also that today's low was important, and that it could hold as support with the next area, major area up around 80. So you can see on the profiles here, this is what occurred overnight. The market did hold nicely at the low. I think it either hit it right on or a couple of ticks off. And then it did come up just above the 80 area and then stayed in there for most of the regular trading hours. And then it finally did break down below yesterday's low and also below the 55 area. So our next support is down around 31, and it looks like the market wants to head there. So we're really in a much, this idea of intraday bias is somewhat difficult when you're in a large range containment area, which I believe we are now from approximately 12:15 to 11:15. So we're going to have movements back and forth there, which we've been trying to describe as intraday up and intraday down, and they've been working well. But they can also fail during the day, but at least we know what price the market needs to get to in order to do so. And so that is done well for us. So it does look now that the kind of action that we had here today wants to send the market down a little bit lower. So our initial resistance area is around 55, which is the old support, and then the next one is up around 62 and then 74. So those are the areas that we're going to be monitoring, and then 31 on the downside, and then of course down to 15 for support. We also use these profiles, which are the market profiles from the regular trading hours only, in our analysis of the market. So here is our software and the trades that our software triggered today. You can see that we did have a long trade here and a long trade here. We had a number of short trades. You can see a couple of them here, a couple of them here, and a couple of them here. These late ones here were not filled. The market didn't pull back in order for us to get into them. So the first trade here, that it worked okay. It did move a point and a half in our favor. We tried to get in here, unfortunately just missed it by a tick. And what we often do with with this kind of sort of peak, if you will, we don't like to take it the second time up. If the trade was taken, it was stopped out for a loss on that trade. Now this trade here, you can see the market did try and rally up and trigger us into this long trade, which was stopped, which was a really kind of a significant thing in our view, because we had entered the green filter there. We get a good long trade of the green filter that gets stopped out. That's unusual. It didn't even hit our first objective. And you can see the market did pull back to that price and then start to sell off again. So obviously the market being pretty darn weak. As a result, when it did come down and start to trade below, this was the previous day's low, started to trade below there, it really gave us more tilting towards favoring the short side, which we were able to get in on a short trade down in here, which did hit our first and second objectives. And we were a little bit fortunate. We did take this long trade here because we hadn't yet held below 55. It had attempted to in this time frame, and it did actually give us a nice bounce, hitting both of our objectives, although it was very short-lived and then the market turned around and went down. So I would certainly monitor those areas that I was making reference to earlier to see what kind of strength or weakness we can get in the market. It appears that the market does want to head lower, and we're going to monitor at least 55, if not 62, to see if the selling pressure holds. It should stay below those prices. If it stays below 55, then look out below, and probably want to head on down. Test today's low around the 43, 44 area, quite possibly on its way down to about 31. So those are some of the things that we're going to be monitoring overnight and then heading into tomorrow. Any questions or comments, just get a hold of us at info@eminidaytrader.com, and of course our phone number's on the website too. So thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you again tomorrow.